Hello, fellow writers. Thank you so much for joining me. I am Stephanie R. Bridges, and I am a self published author. I have four children's books and one book of poetry, as well as a compilation that I've edited. So I'm super excited to be here today. Today, I am here to discuss my process for writing and completing my first novel. So this is a 2018 goal of mine. But instead of starting at the beginning of the year, I want to start now. Okay? Start now or never. So, the first step that I want to share with all of you who are watching, and the first step that I'm going to take is actually reading. Now, I know that you've heard this before. If you want to write well, you need to read. Not all authors are readers. I mean, I would say at least, I'm personally not a reader. So I would say at least 30-40% aren't readers, aren't just natural readers. So a lot of times what happens though is when you want to go into writing a book, you're reading, but you're reading more so for like research purposes than you are necessarily because you just love to read for enjoyment. So again, I am published. I have completed some books. I do receive positive feedback in regards to those, but I have started at least two novels and I haven't completed any. So that's why I'm really taking this 2018 journey very seriously, and I'm going to just do some things that I haven't done in the past. I thought I could, just kind of wing it and do what I had, as far as my children's books are concerned and my poetry book is concerned, and I'm working on a book of short stories. But honestly, if I'm going to get this done, it takes work. It takes discipline and it takes work. So I hope you're ready for the journey. And again, step one is to do some reading. So I say step one, but it's kind of like a process. It's like a combination. So it's great to read any and everything, but in particular, you want to decide what genre your book is going to be in, and then focus on books that would be in your genre. And those are the things that you want to read. So if you're writing a memoir, or if you're writing a book of poetry, or if you're writing a children's book, you want to consume those types of books. And it's not to, copy or redo, what they are doing. It's just to put some organization in your mind, put some structure in your mind, get to know what readers like and love. Because that's the other part of being writers. You want the readers to enjoy what you've written. And sometimes if you're too outside of the box or you don't quite fit a particular genre, it's hard to find that niche reader that would just love what you have accomplished and completed, because it's kind of like a one-off book. It doesn't really fit anywhere. So step one is to read, but you have to first realize or recognize what genre you're in. So this is I'm one of those difficult writers. Like I don't want structure. I don't want to go by. I just want to let the feeling flow. And so this is difficult for me because I think as far as my subject matter is concerned, my book is kind of like urban lit or street lit. I think that's, but they may have changed the name. Street lit or urban something. So I think that's the kind of book. But when I look at my actual writing style, I think it's more like literary fiction. And so literary fiction is kind of like the hoity-toity books, like the people who don't go by the different outlining and organization and arc and plotting. It's kind of like more about the writing and less about the story. So I kind of have a story that fits the street lit, but the writing that's more literary. So I'm still outside of the box, but at least I got some, a little bit. So if you're not sure what genre you are in, definitely reach out to me, ask me. Tell me a little bit about what you're writing, and maybe I can help guide you, or maybe you can, help guide me some too. So far, I did start listening to one audiobook, and it was Urban Lit, and I DNF'd it. So DNF did not finish. I could not complete. I mean, it started off like, oh, okay, I can do this. But in those books, there's a lot of cussing. That wasn't even the real issue that bothered me so much. It was just that it just kind of got kind of repetitive when they were doing the descriptions and of the people. I mean, it kind of started out where there were no descriptions, and I was like, cool, because I kind of had an idea in my mind. But then when they started providing descriptions, everybody looked the same. So I was kind of like, I just couldn't, I just can't. So then I did read a book that I would say is more literary fiction. And this book started out great. Like up to the halfway point, it was like excellent. And then at the halfway point, it like shifted characters, like the main character focus kind of changed, and it just really felt like he was like in a situation like me. So the next video I'm going to talk about plotters versus pantsers. So it seems like he was a pantser, and he was doing awesome. But like many pantsers, you get to the midway in the book and you're like, where do we go from here? And for him, I think he could have just ended it, or added some more in the front and then ended it where it ended at, because it was a wonderful ending in that middle part. But I think he just got kind of was like, oh no, I can't believe I'm not going to complete this book. Sort of like, I have been. And so then he completed it, but it was a dud for me. So that's what I've read and listened to so far. So I definitely have a lot more reading to do, and I plan on doing it. So again, just to rehash, the first step is to read, and read the genre that you are going to be writing. So if you're not sure of that genre, then you need to, figure that out first, and then you need to read those books in that genre so you can get your writing goal accomplished in 2018. I am expecting big things from everybody. I appreciate you all tuning in. Please comment, please, any questions you have. I would love to give you feedback, and happy writing. Bye-bye.